you know, deep throat it a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, that is going in the video. Okay.
Come on, man.
What is going on, you guys? Nerd Central here with our main man, Ant, and me. We got John here today who's featured more than a few times on Chunky Lemon's channel.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Good to have you on, bro. Okay, let's just start. So, Ant, what are we doing here today, bro?
This is a stall team. I couldn't come up with anything better for today's video, so Ethan recommended I do a stall team, and I just kind of slapped together probably the most annoying team that you'll run into in the OU tier, featuring menaces such as Toxipex, Ferrothorn, Blizzy. On top of that, we're going to run Aegislash, who I don't know if you guys know used to be really busted and is still, if you play him right, kind of broken. I'll get more into that later. We're going to run a very strange Dragonite set, and I just kind of stuck Tornadus on there because he gets Regenerator. So let's talk about it. Let's go right into it. Let's talk about Toxipex first. This thing is like unanimously known as like the best wall in the tier, and this is like the definitive Toxipex set. You have the ability Regenerator, which restores 1/3 of your health, rounded down when you switch out. The Black Sludge, which is essentially leftovers, but specifically for poison types. So if, God forbid, somebody tries to trick your poison, your Black Sludge, they will lose 1/8 of their HP, because Black Sludge only works on Pokemon with the poison type. So if you're not a poison type, you will lose health instead of gaining health. Right off the bat, Haze. This is like what makes Toxipex kind of crazy, because you can stall them with Scald and Toxic and Recover. However, if they try to set up on you, you haze them. So there is nothing they can do unless they're running like Earth Power, a really like cranked Earth Power, or Regieleki with a ridiculous electric type move. That would be like the only thing that could really stop Toxipex from just sitting like a lead brick and stalling you out. You know, there's not too much skill to it. You just come in, Toxic them if you can, and then Scald them and Recover until they die, and if they try to sit up, you just haze. And then if you take a big hit, you can just switch out and gain 1/3 of your health back. So yeah, let's move on to Aegislash. So this guy can stall you, but he can also sit up on you really well. He's kind of like a mixed bag, sort of. He has ability stance change. So if Aegislash, which we are, changes form to Blade before attacks and Shield before King Shield. So the way this works is, if you use an offensive move like Shadow Sneak or Iron Head, you will change forms, and your defenses and your attacks stats will be flipped. So say if we're about to go for an Iron Head, instead of hitting with a 50 based attack stat, we will be hitting with a 140 based attack stat. So really what this works is, you kind of want to play around and make the opponent guess whether or not you're going to be in your tanky form or your offensive form, which works really well with the all of the other stall that we got going on, Toxic and Stealth Rock and Leech Seed and stuff like that. So this will give you a good opportunity to set up and kind of clean out the game if you're getting tired of stalling, which I think you might. So that's why I stuck Aegislash on. He's got the weakness policy, which we've spoken about before. If the holder is hit super effectively, raises attack and special attack by 2 stages. So if you come in with Aegislash, you get hit by, an attack, it won't kill you because you're pretty bulky at first. You start in your shield form. Weakness policy procs, you can maybe get a Swords Dance, and then your Shadow Sneak has priority. You switch to Blade Stance, and you will slap quite hard with priority. On top of that, King Shield, get your defenses back up, protects from damaging attacks, contact, -1 attack, increases your bulk just a little bit more, and just really play around the opponent and tick their toxic timers a little bit more. Moving on to Ferrothorn. Again, another unanimously agreed upon ridiculous wall in the tier. This guy sucks. I hate him. You just come in, Rocky Helmet, Iron Barbs is a really, it's his bread and butter. His ability, Iron Barbs, Pokemon making contact with Ferrothorn lose 1/8 of their max HP. On top of that, it stacks with the Rocky Helmet. If the holder is hit by a contact move, the attacker loses 1/6 of its max HP. So you lose like a really good amount of health just by touching this thing. He doesn't even have to do anything to you. On top of that, he can set up Leech Seed on you and Protect. So you Leech Seed him one turn, they hit you, they take all this damage, you Protect the next turn, that's more Leech Seed, and rinse and repeat. We'll also stick on Stealth Rock just for a little bit of entry hazards to keep the stall going if they're trying to switch in and out, trying to get the proper matchup to hit one of our guys super effectively. And then we'll throw in a Gyro Ball, just because it does a lot of damage the slower you are. It has stab. You can totally change this out for, I'd recommend Power Whip instead if you want a little bit more grass coverage. Same thing with Toxipex, I forgot to mention. You can also switch out Toxic for Toxic Spikes. There's a whole bunch of variation to this stuff, but I think what I've got running on here, it might be the best, the most optimal. But Gyro Ball can totally be switched for Power Whip. Say you're running into another Toxipex, Power Whip will hit him neutral. But Gyro Ball is totally cool too. All right, moving on to Dragonite. Now Dragonite is usually kind of like a setup guy. He wants to come in, tank a hit with multi-scale, and set up Dragon Dances. But we're not about that. We're not trying to set up, man. We're just trying to make the opponent hate themselves. So starting with the ability Multi-Scale, if this Pokemon is at full HP, damage taken from attacks is halved. So it's really good. You just come in, the first turn that you're in there, it's not going to do any damage to you. It's going to be halved. Dragon type, you have a lot of really common resistances. Heavy duty boots to make sure that we don't get whittled down by Stealth Rocks, because we are super effective to them. On top of that, we have Roost, so when we do get hit and we no longer have Multi-Scale, we can Roost back up and get Multi-Scale again. Dragon Tail, just to be kind of a prick and keep swapping them out and taking more Stealth Rock damage on top of Toxic. And Substitute, in the event that you predict they may switch or you predict a free turn, you can get a Substitute up. It's just more stall. If they decide to hit you or something, if you have a Substitute and it doesn't kill, you can get a Roost up. If you play your cards right, you'll be able to be at full health with a Substitute and just stall that much more, because they have to go through your Substitute and then go through your Multi-Scale before they can actually hit you properly. So if you play, I'll try and demonstrate this in a match. If you play your cards right, you'll be able to have a lot of longevity with Dragonite in this manner. You know, I don't think I actually went through the stats really quick. They're pretty simple. Just totally physically defensive for Toxipex. We're gonna run a bulky sweeper for Aegislash. So when we switch, it would be as if we had when we switch stances, it would be as if we had a 140 base attack maxed out 252 in the adamant nature. Naturally, defensive stats work pretty well for us. Same thing with Ferrothorn. I'm actually gonna max out our HP. Physically defensive all around. Dragonite, we're gonna run him special. It's unfortunate that we kind of lose out a little bit on this attack stat, but Dragon Tail still makes use of it. But otherwise, we're just gonna be totally specially defensive. I think that's the way to go with Dragonite, because the things that hit him super effectively are usually physical anyway. So like rock types are a big thing. You may run into like Tyranitar and stuff like that. So it'd be better because the things that you actually resist are more often special. So the water types, the fire types, electric types, and grass types too. Just all of his resistances are usually going to be special attacks, except for ice. Ice type may still give you a problem, but you have a lot of great ice resistances in Toxipex, and Aegislash, and Ferrothorn. Moving on to Blizzy. Yeah, dude, this thing is just a special wall. This is like impossible to kill. Ability, Natural Cure. This Pokemon has its non-volatile status condition cured when it switches out. So if you try to Toxic this thing and you switch, it's cured. If you try to burn it, paralyze it, whenever you switch, your status condition is cured. So there is no stalling against Blizzy. On top of that, with the leftovers, and then Soft Boiled and Protect and Toxic, you are the stalling, I guess, queen. I think because Blizzy is only female, but it's crazy.
That's just mean, dude.
It is mean. It is.
What about fighting type moves against you? Would you just?
I would just switch to one of our fighting type checks.
Yeah, but what if it's like someone who can just have a fighting type coverage move and you wouldn't know it?
Well, if you're good, you would.
Okay. I don't know.
Unless it's
shoot.
Well, I didn't mean that in like a defensive way. No, I'm just saying, like, as an experienced battler, you'd get an idea. If you got caught off guard with a fighting type move, it might not even kill. I'm not even kidding. Even though you have very low defenses.
A lot of HP, bro.
Dude, the bulk. The bulk on this thing.
What about, so why would you put Seismic Toss on Blizzy if her attack is so low?
So, I was about to get into that. I'm glad you asked that. It's a great question. Seismic Toss, it doesn't have a power, 100% accuracy. Here's the catch. Does damage equal to the user's level. So it doesn't matter what your stats are. It does a fixed amount of damage. The amount of damage that it does is irrelevant. Just as long, because it's usually about a fourth of their HP. Because in this tier, in the format that we're playing on Pokemon Showdown, every Pokemon is level 100. And I think the way it works is that there's like a formula for damage specifically for Seismic Toss and its counterpart, Nightshade. I think it always balances out to 1/4, so 25% of the enemy's health if you're the exact same level, I believe.
So it's like better Dragon Rage.
Honestly, kind of, yeah. Defenses may be taken into account as well. I'm not too sure about that. All I know is that it's a fixed damage and it does a decent chunk. So if you decide for whatever reason to stay in on Blissey and you can't kill it in 5 or 6 turns, it will kill you. It's kind of broken. On top of that, you know, we've got the crazy special defense stat, 405 with 700 HP. This is almost unnecessary. An unnecessary amount of special bulk. But that's okay, because who cares? We're out for blood. We want to see people cry when we go and play. So yeah, you will eat special moves like it's nothing. Your leftovers will cure the damage that you take from special moves. You want the soft boiled, so if you come in against like a neutral physical move, you can soft boil that away. All right, lastly, we got Tornadus. So I had a few options to pick for putting Tornadus on. I wanted another Pokemon with a ground type resistance, or ground immunity, I should say. Toxipex and Aegislash are both susceptible to an earthquake. Ferrothorn is damaged neutrally by a ground type, so that's not necessarily the best thing in the world. On top of that, Blissey can't take earthquakes very well either, so Dragonite would have been our only coverage for ground, and God forbid he gets taken off a little early, we'd be screwed. So I'm throwing on Tornadus just in case. His ability Regenerator, it's the same as Toxipex. You restore 1/3 of your HP when you switch, which is great. Combined with the Iapa Berry, for example, there are a lot of these berries that restore 33% of your max HP at 1/4 health. It's just dependent on what your nature is. So different berries will confuse depending on your nature. So as long as we're not a minus defense nature, it won't confuse us. There's like 10 different berries that are the exact same thing, just dependent on what your nature is. It's, in my opinion, a better citrus berry, if you're familiar with a citrus berry. So you get 33% of your max HP at 1/4. So that'll bring you back up to over half, I believe. Now, if you play your cards right, you can take a hit, knock you down to your berry, get your health back, and then U-turn and switch out, and then Regenerator heals another 1/3. So it's as if you're all the way back to full health. Really safe, really good stuff. We're gonna run Defog on Tornadus because Stealth Rocks are actually one of the big counters to stall teams, because you're essentially stalling yourself, because in a stall team you want to keep switching and keep the opponent switching with you, because that's what stall is. You're not letting the game go anywhere. You're just letting the toxic and the entry hazards take them away.
Now, Wayne.
Yes, sir.
Optimally, wouldn't you want Dragonite to have defog because it has the heavy duty boot?
So yes, that's another option you can do. If you don't want to run Substitute, you can totally just run Defog. That's totally up to you. I figured, let me throw Substitute on there because that'd be a fun way to interact with multi-scale. But you totally can. You can totally, instead of running Defog, you could just run, I think it even gets, nope, doesn't get Roost. You can run Air Slash, you can run, any other coverage you want. Protect, just for more stall. Substitute Tailwind if you really want to. You could put Toxic on him too. All kind of stuff you can do. I'm okay with not running the heavy duty boots on Tornadus because it naturally has a lot of longevity, because whenever it switches, it'll just heal the Stealth Rock damage it took.
Right.
So that's why I feel like it's not a necessity on this Pokemon. It can still be bothersome if you don't play around it correctly. But if you play your cards right, and that's my defense for a lot of things. If you play your cards right, it'll work. We're gonna run Knockoff just to get rid of any leftovers and stuff that would slow our stall down. And I'm actually gonna opt for Heat Wave here, just on the off chance that we run into like a Ferrothorn or a Scizor or something that would be quite weak to fire, just because we lack that kind of coverage, and steel types specifically kind of wall our team because we can't stall them with toxic. And we're just going to go for kind of like a bulky support, just max out our speed so we always move first, and just put the rest into our bulk so we can take a few hits better. I'll demonstrate how we can really abuse this kind of stuff in Pokemon.
All right, great.
Okay, buckle up, you guys, because we may be here a while. Hopefully, if it gets really bad, we can speed it up just a little bit. Chansey might be better, because Chansey has the Eviolite. Chansey is essentially the exact same Pokemon, but our special defense, honestly, I think it is higher.
I have to go eat, though.
Sure.
So, you can take over the mic, bro?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Help me.
All right, let's get the timer going.
I know so much about Pokemon.
Me too. Not really. All right, let's go into Ferrothorn. Scrafty, interesting. So he is a fighting type and probably has the intention of either setting up a Dragon Dance or just going for a Drain Punch or close combat, if that. So let's go into Toxipex and see what we can get out of him. There's a Dragon Dance. That's cool. You're not allowed to set up, brother. We lose our Black Sludge, but that's okay because we could just recover anyway. Iron Head maybe went for a flinch. And let's see. Does he go into the Steel type for the Toxic? I'm going to say he is, so we're going to Scald. Oh, he went to Landorus. Okay. So we get a nice, super effective hit. No burn, unfortunately. We are going to go right into... Yeah, let's go into Ferrothorn. Stealth Rock. Let's go into Leech Seed. He could go into Rillaboom. Ah, alright. He's going to take some damage just from hitting me. That's fine. If he goes into Rillaboom, I guess we won't be able to get our Leech Seed going, but he won't be able to do anything either. Alright, he goes into Slowbro, interestingly enough. I wonder what he has that he thinks he can hit me with. He's a Water type and a Psychic type. And he usually also runs Teleport and Slack Off. Maybe he thinks he can just slack off away. The Future Sight, that's really not going to do much. Unless he switches into Landorus and then goes for an Earthquake and then tries to finish me off with the Future Sight, that's going to come. I don't think so. I don't think so, though. Yeah. So we're going to go for the Power Whip. That's a nice, hefty move. Okay, so he's going to try and hit me here. So I'm going to Protect because he wants to try and hit me with a Fighting type move and then finish me off with the Future Sight. Oh, no, he's set up again. Interesting. I didn't know Future Sight goes through Protect. I had no idea. That's new. Shoot. Dragon Dance, Knockoff, Iron Head. Yeah, let's go into Toxipex. I don't think he gets Earthquake. Drain Punch. Nah, bruh. That's too bad. Alright, we don't have anybody Toxic yet, so let's go for it. Commit to the Toxic. Hope he doesn't go into the Steel type. Escavalier. Even if he does, he wouldn't be able to hit me with much anyway. Escavalier. Yeah.
Okay.
Escavalier gets Steel type, Bug type, and Fighting type coverage. Alright, I'm going to call him out. He's going to attempt to Earthquake me again. So let's go into Tornadus. We're in business. I do want to defog. I will defog. Is he toxic? He's not running the rock type Kavaraji. So we're going to U-turn. That might have been better for us to stay in. We would have been able to get, we would have been able to get a fire. Like, this is the reason why we run Heat Wave on this guy. For Pokemon like these. 4 times weak to fire. Very slow. We are going to send in Dragonite. Because whatever this guy tries to do, he may even Swords Dance, but we're just going to Dragon Tail him. Goes for the Toxic. It's unfortunate Dragonite eats a lot of Toxics these days. Heliolisk. I'm going to Dragon Tail him again. Because that thing is frail. Hyper Voice. Oh, he got a crit. Lucky crit. That would not have done nearly as much damage. Alright, Scrafty. Let's Roost. Yeah, because I know he wants to go for a Dragon Dance. This is just a free Roost for me. And now. Does he know? He probably knows I'm going to switch to Toxipex, but there's nothing he can do about it. He can knock off nothing, and he's probably going to want to go into Landorus again. We just get a free Scald. Yeah. Burn? Nice. See, we don't even need to haze this guy. We're just going to recover. Alright. And we're just going to scald him again. This is a good example of him getting impatient. He's not even... This is a losing battle for him, and he stayed in a few turns too many. Dry skin? He does have dry skin. Alright, alright. Why wouldn't he? You know, not a Sun team. Alright. This is a good opportunity to go into Chansey. Hyper Voice. So, not as... We didn't take... We took a little bit more damage than Blizzy did. We switched up Chansey here. Just to see if we can get a little bit better defensive bulk out of her. Still negligible. Who's toxic? Only Landers and Scrafty's burned. So let's go for Seismic Toss. There's Rillaboom. Alright, this isn't good. Because this thing hits like a truck and has priority. Ferrothorn is very healthy. If he decides to hit us, he's going to take a lot of damage. Yeah, Grassy Glide. So this thing gets Drain Punch. Let's see if he actually goes for it. Because if he does have it, if he is running Drain Punch, or if he doesn't go for it, I'd be inclined to switch. He may not have it. So this thing runs Toxic. He has a neutral Mega Horn. He runs Close Combat. Let's go for a hard read and go in Aegislash. Knockoff. That's another common. We do proc our weakness policy though. Shadow Sneak will not kill though. Let's King Shield. He also went for Protect. Toxic. All right, he's running a very tanky Escavalier set. I'm more used to running him very offensively. I'm gonna go for Swords Dance again because if he opts to go for knockoff, it's not gonna hurt as much because we don't have an item anymore. And now Shadow Sneak may hurt just that much more. But we're gonna King Shield again just to see if we can lower his attack. All right, we're playing the Protect game here. This isn't good for us. If I go for if I attack him, I'm going to die. Screw it. Let's see how much we get. A lot. All right, that was actually kind of worth it because now Tornadus comes in. He probably does not suspect a Heat Wave. He went for Protect. That was pretty good. Slowbro might come in because he knows we want to go for Heat Wave, so we'll go for a Knockoff. Knockoff is leftovers. It's unfortunate we were not able to snag the kill. I thought we might be able to revenge kill this guy pretty well. I should have known that Protect was coming. So now we are one Pokemon behind. There's Scrafty. Cool. Choppleberry, I don't know what that does. There's not much he can do to me either. I'm just gonna Heat Wave him, kill him.
There you go.
Alright, so now we're even again. I'm at 375 speed. He's at 348. I'm going to pray that he is not Scarfed and go for a U-turn. Alright, great. He goes for the Volt Switch. Landers. So if he stays in, he's gonna die. I'm just gonna Leech Seed him. He wanted to get his rocks back up. That's okay, brother.
What's going on? What'd I miss?
Some real riveting gameplay. That's for sure.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna Power Whip this man. He wants to go for this Future Sight stuff, but... Alright, that didn't do nearly as much damage as I thought. Let's go for Leech Seed. Scald, he's gonna go for a burn. He's gonna get it. Nope.
Nice.
He may go for it again. This is where I'll get my Stealth Rocks back up.
Wow, he's really going for that burn.
It's a Future Sight. 16%. Yeah, we don't care about that. I'm gonna Protect him if he's adamant about staying in.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. Staying Toxipex. At least he's the only recovery you got on this guy, huh?
That's all you need, because you just protect every other turn.
Right.
Okay. This guy, he's gonna Quad Resist this. Yeah. He may go for the Knockoff. It'll kill. Do I eat a Knockoff and just kill him? I don't know how worth it that is. He also protects.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Now he has to hit me though, so I'm just gonna get a Leech Seed in the event he wants to switch out. Yeah, Knockoff. I'm glad I went for Leech Seed because he opted to hit me with that. Get rid of my item at the cost of losing his guy. Which, even though we don't have the Rocky Helmet anymore, it's still not a good idea to hit Ferrothorn just because of my ability in general. Alright, I smell a Drain Punch. Now I smells it. I smells it. Let's call him out on it. Drain Punch. No, U-turn. Alright. Does he stay in or does he actually leave? I'm gonna play very risky. I'm gonna think he's gonna U-turn again. Yeah.
Wow, he did.
Alright, welcome back, Slowbro. That thing has heavy-duty boots, I think. He didn't take any Stealth Rock damage, did he?
Yeah, I guess he does. I don't know, I didn't see.
Yeah. You see, this thing also has Regenerator, so he's attempting to outlive us. Yep, with Slack Off and everything. That's alright, though. We'll get him down eventually.
Why don't we have a Slowbro on the team?
Because we already had Toxipex, and Toxipex is just better Slowbro. When it comes to the stall, you know, power up again. He's gonna Scald me, try and go for the burn. Not gonna get it? Nope. Alright, we miss. That's fair. Totally fine. Yeah, he probably wants to go for Slack Off again.
Yeah, just power up.
Just go power, yep. The burn's not gonna help him at all.
Yeah, I don't know why he's going for that. He's just
trying
to replicate Toxic, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Now, you know, it cost him. Heliolisk cannot do anything against us. We're just gonna...
Leech Seed?
Honestly, yeah, Leech Seed. We could just kill him with Power Whip, but that's... Yeah, he forfeited. So, you know, 50 turns just for him to forfeit. That's kind of what you're gonna get out of teams like these.
What a loser.
You can use these teams, a team like this or a team similar to this. This is just to give you a good idea on how to probably use his stall team. I know Nick probably is getting his jollies on right now because he loves stall teams. But I don't recommend using stall teams. One, I don't think they're very fun. I don't think they are very good.
They're for chaotic, evil pieces of shit.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think they're very fair either.
We just want to watch the world burn.
They just intentionally drag out the game for no reason. But yeah, for those of you that are interested, this is how you do it. You can mix it around. There's a lot of other really good stall Pokemon out there that we did not mention, but definitely...
Like what? What other Pokemon are good stall Pokemon?
Alright, well, let's take a look real quick. Porygon Z, or Porygon 2 immediately comes to mind. This thing with an Eviolite, it can run Trace, so it'll copy the ability of the opponent, which could be pretty useful sometimes. Say if you get like Wonder Guard somehow, you know? But it also gets Recover, it's Toxic, and then it gets a whole slew of other coverage. And that's about it. So you just are really bulky because of the Eviolite, and you have really nice defenses, and then you kind of just sit there and Toxic Stall them forever.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna run him on there, but like, you know, we already have Chansey. Other good stall Pokemon, let's see. Amoonguss is a stall Pokemon. Celesteela is another really good stall Pokemon. Quagsire is an interesting stall Pokemon. He has Unaware, which makes it so you can't, like, he just doesn't care. You can set up as much as you want. Unaware makes it so it has no effect. Skarmory is another good stall Pokemon. Tangrowth is another good stall Pokemon. Let's see. You can stall with Venusaur. It was better with Mega Venusaur, but you could do it with him. Crobat is an interesting anti-stall Pokemon. I'll actually talk about Crobat just a little bit. This is an interesting counter for stall teams. Crobat is really fast, has the ability Infiltrator, so substitutes don't work if they try to substitute stall you. He gets Roost, right? He's a poison type, so he can't be toxic, and he also gets Hyper Fang, I think. Nope, it's Super Fang. Super Fang does damage equal to 1/2 the target's current HP.
So does that mean it can never kill?
Nope, it'll still kill. It's rounded down. It's rounded to 1 HP. But you can take huge chunks out of really defensive Pokemon because it just automatically does 1/2 of the current HP. He gets Heat Wave for Steel types. He also gets Haze if they're trying to set up like Calm Mind or something. He get Nasty Plot, Quick Attack, Rest. He gets Taunt also is huge. He can taunt if they're trying to set up in general. He can set up Tailwind, Whirlwind also. He can just Whirlwind them out. You can also run Toxic himself. I think if you are very afraid of running into some really stalling Pokemon, Crobat is an interesting option to go into.
Dude, maybe our next video could be anti-stall team.
That's a very good idea. We'll totally do that. You kind of get the idea. That's all I've got.
All right, I guess that's it. Thanks, Ant, for your...
My pleasure.
Explanations. Thank you, John, for your meme value.
I didn't do anything.
And company.
Yeah, you're great. You're a great company. Anyway,
guys.
shit, that was cool.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys in the next video.